BBN, what's going on, guys? This is the Loyal BBN Fan Show. I'm your host, Big Mike. Another Wednesday night show. Some things was going on, so I jumped on at the last minute. Decided to just go. I can't cancel the show, um, so I wanted to jump on today, tonight, and just kind of just stand in with some energy. But I wake up to a lot of bad news when I'm overseas. So first of all, let me ask. I'm streaming live on YouTube and on Facebook tonight. If you're watching through YouTube through Facebook, please consider subbing to the YouTube channel. Please. I feel like I've asked this a million times. Some people respond, some people don't. Um, if you are watching only strictly through Facebook, it's the same material, it's the same videos that's going on YouTube. I'm just asking you to go subscribe over there if you can't. There will be a link in the video. I'll post one on Facebook directly. And if you could you please just go subscribe to the YouTube channel? It helps us out a lot. But even more breaking than that is the situation going on in Utah. Like I said, man, I'm overseas, and I can't even tell you guys how many times I went to sleep and it was quiet and nothing was going on, and then I wake up, whether to go to work or to do a show or whatever, and I always wake up to some nonsense, to some crazy stuff just going on around the country. And days like it's almost like it's just another day. It's like you expect it. But I want to send my heart prayers out to Charlie Kirk, prayers out to his wife, and I think he has a daughter too as well. Look, I'm not a political guy. Yeah, I know that political is a very intense topic in American culture today, because of who the president is, who the president was, what's going on in the world, all this. I get all that, and I understand that people have their differences of where they stand at when it comes to politics. But let me tell you something. If you a veteran, if for those veterans, for those guys who's out there in uniform serving right now, we serve because we believe that everyone in this country, regardless of who or what you believe in when it comes to politics, that you have that right to voice your opinion. And whether you agree with somebody or whether you don't, whether you like the president or whether you don't, it does not matter. Everyone in this country has their free right to go out here and to voice their thoughts on whatever it is that they believe in. And my best way, if I don't like what somebody's saying, I just turn the TV off or I just turn the channel. I don't have to go and comment. I don't have to show hate. I don't have to go out here and kill somebody just because these guys don't believe like I believe or think that what I think. Hey, bro, killing people is just becoming the normal thing now. And it's out of hand. Will things change now? Probably not. Will we do the same thing that we've been doing for the longest? It's just, oh, I'm sorry that so and so got killed. Oh, I'm just sad. Oh, it's just gun violence is so bad. People's just all kind of nervous. And I'm not smart enough to talk politics. I don't talk politics on the show at all. But when you wake up and when you see something tragic, this guy's 31 years old, man, like 31 years old, and his life was just snatched from him just because somebody doesn't believe what he believes. And that's, I mean, what kind of country are we living in, bro? When a person can't even stand up and just voice their opinion on what they feel like is right or wrong or whatever. This is crazy. All this killing stuff's got to stop, bro. And look, I'm not a look. I didn't vote for Trump. This guy, he was a big time supporter of Trump. But let the guy, if the guy wants to support Trump, if he wants to voice his opinion, let the guy, let anybody who wants to do it, let those guys be able to do it. This is just crazy, man. People just dying for no reason. And it's just like, I'm overseas and we don't, you don't hear about these kind of things. You don't see people just getting killed just because you don't see all of this stuff, and it hurts my heart when I turn on the news and when I wake up and all I see is just so much nonsense out there in the Western thing. So once again, rest in peace to Charlie Kirk. Prayers out to his family for peace. I mean, this is tragic, man. This is tragic. on a college university. This is insane, people. And if this out here doesn't bother you as an American, and forget that. If this out here doesn't bother you as a human being, then I don't know what to say. And once again, I don't like politics, and I don't do politics on my shows. But right is wrong, and wrong is wrong. This young man shouldn't have had to die just because of his beliefs and just because of his opinions on what's going on in the world. It's just no need for that in my society. It just isn't. But that's just the way that it is, and we'll mourn and we'll be sad, and we'll do this for about 24, 48 hours, and then something else is going to happen that's going to steal our attention because it's going to be another tragedy, and it just goes on and on and on, and it's just sad that this guy had to lose his life at 31 years old. Just got married in 2021, if I'm correct. It's just sad, man. It really is. And man, just cherish your loved ones, man, and just love them. And if you don't like what somebody's saying, man, turn the TV off, bro. Like even though we got social media and we can sit here and we can make comments and we can be angry and we can voice up. Sometimes this freaking social media life, man, it's overbearing sometimes. And sometimes you just have to just turn off this social media stuff. Sometimes you got to just turn off the news, man, and just pray. That's what we need to do. We need to pray. So prayers out to his family, and sorry to starting off on a rant like this, but it's just when you just like, it's just sad. 31 years old and his life is gone just because one person just didn't agree with what the guy said and felt like it was in his right to take his life. So this guy couldn't have an opinion. Man, get out of here, bro. Get out of here. That's just crazy. So rest in peace, and I didn't watch it, but that still doesn't mean that I can't mourn for him. That still that I can't feel sorry for what's going on with his family. It's just a sad situation, man. And this guy's entitled. He was entitled to feel the way that he did. He's entitled to support who he wanted to support. That's why it's the United States of America, and you can believe and you can support what it is you feel like you want to, and you shouldn't have to feel like just because you feel the way somebody's gonna walk up to you and kill you. It's sad, man. It is. It's just a sad situation overall. It is. So I'm gonna get off of that right there. So my apologies for that. You guys know I never talk about politics, but this is just a bad situation right here. And maybe something to be done about it. Maybe I don't carry a gun, and I know people love their guns and stuff like that. But a lot of people who love guns, they're responsible with their guns. It's just that few people, man, that just feel like because they got a gun in their hand, they can use it any way they want to, and it's just ridiculous. So rest in peace, Charlie Kirk, for that. So, hey guys, how you guys doing, man? As well. Hey James, how you doing? I don't think any Jeopardy fans ever tried to take Pat Sajak out. Internet makes people crazy. Mark Pope. Oh, stopping in Utah, exactly, man. Social media just makes people feel like they can just, that they can just do anything they want to, man. And it's just not the case, bro. But that's the world that we live in today. So I guess we have to adapt to it. But what my word says is, do not be conformed of this world. You know, that's what the Bible says. So we're only temporarily here, and using this body, and we have to use it appropriately as much as we can. And going out killing somebody just because they have different thoughts, well, that's crazy. But anyway, hey man, what's going on, man? Kentucky football is and that's a hard transition. And I heard people talk about the hard transitions and going from something tragic like this over to just talking about sports, which seem so small right now to so many people. Sports, what is sports? But this is what this is. This is the sports show. You guys know it. And for me, I'm mentally getting ready for. I'm mentally getting ready for this weekend against Eastern Michigan. I think it's who we play. Yeah, sure. Just it's hard to follow when a wife and a daughter won't be having their husband and father come home anymore after today. That's just it's a little touching, man. It is. It makes if you got loved ones, please just hold them, man, and just love them, because you really never know when when that's going to be the last time that you're going to have that opportunity. The internet and big media has made people hyper political. Remember when you could agree to disagree and still be friends? Absolutely, Peanut. You could, man, and that's what I miss the most. And now you're almost afraid to disagree with people because now you got to look over your back. Oh, I don't agree with him. And we had a really, really deep conversation about politics and we just couldn't agree. So I wonder if this guy is going to be angry at me and if he's going to come back later and going to try to kill me just because I didn't agree with him. That's the temperature of where we at right now in the world, in America. Let me put it like that. In America, that's where we at in America, and it's a sad situation all the way around. And it's talking about Kentucky football and like stuff like that. You know, it seems so small right now compared, to what's going on. But once again, like I said, we'll mourn, we'll be sad. 2 days from now, the news will be filled again with somebody else killing somebody, another senseless killing. Yeah, I don't look. I don't have the answer for that. I don't, and but it really makes me sad in my heart that something like this would happen. And I have two young sons, and well, I don't have. They're grown, but I wish I was able to hug them right now and just tell them that Dad loves them. Because you don't know when someone's going to be out of their mind, and you don't know when someone is just going to just feel like shooting up a place. Sad situation. So it seems. So I'm gonna make this transition as easy as I can over to Kentucky football. And I know Kentucky football is not doing too good right now. Well, look, we're 1-1, okay, and we lost to a good Ole Miss team, and we lost by a touchdown, and a few plays here and a few plays there. Maybe that game could have ended a little different. We all know that. But I think the big news right now is, it appears that Calzada has not been to practice all week, or it's only 2 days, 3 days, or whatever it is. And Boyle will get the start this weekend. Looks like he's been with the first team all week, since they started back practice. So it looks like Cutter is going to get the start this weekend. And if Cutter goes out there against a team, see, now we start the cycle all over again with the quarterback. What's got to be the expectations of Cutter Ball? If Cutter goes out there and lays an egg, yeah, we win the ball game, but he's not sharp. Does that mean, well, we got to give him another game too? We got to see what he can do next. The next game is against South Carolina. Now that gives him against Michigan. It gives him another week of off to get better, and then another week to actually leading it up to the game of South Carolina. So if he's going to be that guy, but with at Eastern Michigan, the bye week, and going into South Carolina, that gives him 3 weeks to really get his mind right. Only playing one game, but he got 3 weeks. So we just got to see. We got to see how this actually goes. It's almost like politics have replaced religion. You have religious extremists in the Middle East, and political extremists here. Um, I, that could be. I mean, I can't disagree with that, Peanut. I can't, and and it's sad, man. It is. Um, it's Big Mike. We have to have a coach who is into it and can call plays in tight situations. Stoops has always fell short when it comes to that. Hey James, how you doing? Let me throw up this comment for James. But Mike, we have to have a coach who is into it and can call plays in tight situations. Stoops has always fell short when it comes to that. I That's something that I thought about too as well, James. And thank you for the comment too. We have to pray for people every day. Yeah, we got to pray. Hey, thank you, Pizza. Thank you so much for joining too as well. Yeah, we got to pray for people every day. You know, one thing about Stoops is it's like when we in a crunch at certain games, and when the camera goes on Stoops, it's almost like, first of all, I said this before. I'm wondering if Stoops is fully committed to this program, considering everything that's going on. And this is not me saying Stoops get fired, Stoops need to go. This is just me just kind of giving uh, my opinion a little bit. Um, so when you look at Stoops, sometimes you got to wonder: is he just buying time? Is he just here because he know that he can't get fired? Is his heart in it like it was the first day? Has this job says, okay, I've been here long enough. It's just time for me to hit the restart button and do something else somewhere else. Is that the case? If that's the case, then of course, if if Stoops cared about Kentucky, then Stoops will step aside. But in those situations, James, at times I do wonder the same things because when the cameras always seem to hit you, and the cameras don't lie, and it just looks like sometimes when the camera hits him, and we should have did, when we could have did better on a situation, it just kind of looks. The camera goes to him, and it's just like, whatever. We'll get it next time. And as a football coach, you can't just look at it and just say we'll get it next time. Like you gotta already be prepared mentally for these situations that can come up. That's staying ahead of the game. That's being prepared for what could come next. And when you don't have an answer like that, and when you never have a way out of where you can make things happen in bad situations, fan base just walks away. And I wonder, even after one ball game with Ole Miss, I wonder, not the whole fan base, but I wonder how much of the fan base has said, yeah, football's over for me for the year. I'm out of here. Basketball season starts next month. I see you then. I wonder, because some people are just tired of really going through this. Some people, just like James said, Stoops doesn't have an answer for those situations where maybe he should have. And maybe, over what he's been, 13 years or whatever it is, over this, 13 years, over this period of time, like you've ran into enough situations where you should have a game plan for when you see this happen because it repeats itself. Losing the game really close to if we just would have went right instead of left. Those kind of things is as an in game coach, like you got to be growing and growth and knowledge of knowing how to combat this stuff when this stuff comes up. We need another quarterback. Um, well, it looked like, hey Jeff, hey, it's good to see you, man. It looked like we do got another quarterback. Cutter is going to be. It appears it hasn't been officially put out yet from what I read from KSR, but it looks like Cutter is taking all the first team reps. Calzada has not practiced at all, and it looks like he's going to get the start against. Look like he's going to get the start against Eastern Michigan this weekend. So once again, even look, and this is even from BC. BC was like, "There's no way that you bench your player." Now, is Calzada still hurt? I don't know. Is it just egos now because he got pulled from the ball game and now he's like, well, I ain't going back out there. I'm not playing. Well, my shoulder's hurting. Maybe it's not hurting. But Cutter doesn't care. Cutter just wants to be on the field, and Cutter could get his chance. If Cutter goes out there against Eastern Michigan and throws 2 or 3 interceptions, where do we go from there? What does the fan base, everybody who's been yelling, we need a new quarterback. We need Cutter. Cutter can do better. Do you give Cutter a grace period too? I mean, do we not give Calzada a big grace period because he's been in college football for a long time? He should already be well prepared for this moment. Or do we look at Cutter since that's his first starting game? Well, I don't know if he started any last year. Did he start against Louisville last year? I think. But this is his, saying this is his first starting game this year. Let's see what he got after game two, which is against South Carolina. I mean, that's going to be a big game, but we still got to go beat Eastern Michigan. And if for me, we have got to blow out Eastern Michigan. We got to beat Eastern Michigan by at least 3 touchdowns. And I need to see Cutter throw at least 2 to 3 touchdowns. And I would love to see him put it down the field. But if we can't, if the long ball is not there, then let's go those short routes. Let's give our receivers a chance to catch the ball and get up the field with some yards afterwards and get some first downs and continue to move the change. You got to set Cutter up for success. You got to put him in a position where he can succeed. throwing those little short passes, getting his confidence up, saying, okay, I can do this. I can run this offense. I'm good enough for this. And then when they least expect it, then you hit them with a long ball. You know what I'm saying? So Coach Hampton has got to set this guy up for success. Otherwise, he's gonna fail too. And then we're gonna be right back in the situation is we don't have a quarterback. Well, everybody asked for Cutter. We got Cutter. Cutter wasn't all that impressive. So where do we go from here? Now, do we really just throw in the towel for the rest of the year because Calzada didn't get it, wasn't going to get it done. Cutter's not going to get it done, and I don't even know who the third string is. Do you guys? I don't. Uh, Let me see. It's time for a change. I have lost faith in Stoops. David says, let me see. David, hey David, how you doing, man? It's football. Mike is football. We watching NASCAR, waiting on basketball season. Warheads on forehead. Be safe, brother. Appreciate it, David. Hey Dave, I've actually started watching that movie Formula One, and I don't know how different. I don't watch cars. I don't watch racing, but I wonder how much different is it with the Formula One with the NASCAR. But this movie with Brad Pitt is pretty good. It's only going to take me about 4 days to finish it. I watch about 30 minutes and then I turn it off in 30 minutes. So just a little too tired to watch a whole 2.5 hour movie. That's for sure. We might get some. Great. We might get some. Yeah, we might. BBN is already trying to throw both the quarterbacks away. Already. But I think Stone Sanders is okay. I think he's number 3. Okay. But so I'm rooting for Cutter. I think when Cutter came into the game against Ole Miss, I think he looked confident. I think he was ready. But let's see what he does when he goes out there under the center the first snap of the ball game for Kentucky. Let's see if he's built for this. Let's see if he has a Steven Johnson moment. And I love this stuff. Of course, he didn't use those words, but I want to see if he's actually ready for the moment. Is the moment going to be too big for him? But once again, I need to see Cutter go out there and throw at least 2 touchdowns. 3 would be good, and at least win by 3 touchdowns, I guess. Look, we don't have very many more easy feel-good wins in us. So we got to take advantage of this, and let's see if we can go into the bye week. First of all, go into outside of Calzada. Can we go into the bye week healthy? If we can go into the bye, we get a good win against Eastern Michigan, go into the bye week healthy, get to Ole Miss. I'm not Ole Miss, but South Carolina. I think we can go down there and maybe upset those guys. I did see that they got a punt returner who is extremely dangerous. Already has 3 punt returns for the year. We can't kick him the ball. But we got 3 weeks to prepare for that. So hopefully these guys already know that. Don't kick him to football. For real. Peanut said, bring on basketball. Please go Big Blue. It's, man, so if, as a fan, whether you're on Facebook or whether you're on YouTube, are you someone that has checked out of football and says, let's just go basketball? Put your comments down below if you can. Put FB for football or put BB for basketball of where you're at mentally with Kentucky sports. So don't everybody rush at once. Please don't. I haven't checked out yet because, I want Kentucky football to be good because it helps me mentally. It helps me mentally over here. When the football team is good, it really gives me something to really, really cheer about, and it doesn't make my Sunday afternoon so long because that's the first day of the week. Bring on basketball. What happens when they take on the run game? Take the run game away, we have no pass plays, and our defense would just drop. Also, if they don't get a break, nothing against Cutter, we have no passing play. That's the thing, and James, I say this a lot: is if you can't give your defense a break, your defense is eventually going to break down. You can only ask your defense to do so much. Like you can't ask your defense to go out there and give you 60 plays. Why would you want that? That's why you got to, while the home run ball is good, throw it downfield. We get a long touchdown. The crowd goes crazy. Everything is good. But if you can't generate if you can't generate a few good long drives, which and to be honest with you, we did that this year. We put together some long drives, but we can't come away with just 3 points. 3 points is just not going to get it. When you put together a 10, 11, 12 play drive lasting 8 or 9 minutes, you got to go capitalize. The points is good because as you can see against Ole Miss, points would have mattered. But when you move the ball like that and you control the clock for that long with that many plays, you gotta go punch it in, because if not, that's a win for the defense. I don't care if you did keep the defense out there for 10 minutes on the field. If you only hit if you only finish with three, that's a win for the defense. The defense won because that's what they want you to do. If you gotta score, then just score 3 points. We have got to capitalize on those long drives, and we got to put 7 points up. 3 points just won't get it. And you're not going to change my mind. Points is points, but psychologically, it's just like a 3 pointer. A 3 pointer is only 1 point more than a 2 pointer. But when you hit a three, I mean, they don't sell. You don't see too much celebration when someone just hits a small jump shot. They high five, go back down the court. But you hit a three, everything, bro. Everyone celebrates about a three. So you got to take advantage of those long drives, and you got to go put the ball in the end zone and get 7 points. That psychologically, sports is psychologically, man, and that's deflating when you put together a 12 play and you only end up with 3 points. That's just saying, well, we almost made it. I guess we got 3 points. At certain times, that can come down to where that 3 points really matters. But psychologically, just to get everybody up, pumped up, we just scored a touchdown. The fans are up. The defense is ready to go out on the field. Come on, man. We gotta do better. October 24th, football. I refuse to check out. Yeah, I'm not checking out. I'm not checking out neither. I'm one of those guys who I'm just like I'm ready for basketball, and I can't wait to see those guys on the court. And I know Kentucky is a basketball school per se. I get all of that. I gotta make sure I'm watching my phone because I got somebody joining me tonight on the show. But hopefully soon. But yeah, I just can't check out on my football team. I just can't. And even I don't care like if I'm disappointed, if I'm upset. It's just something that just keeps pulling me back to want to cheer for my Kentucky Wildcats, even if things are not the way that I would like them to be. It would still really really make me happy to see our football team be good. But it seems like they don't know when to go for it or not, and they make bad play calls when they do. I was just so confused on what they were doing last game. Well, newsflash, James, they was confused. It wasn't us. They was confused. I mean, when you burn your timeouts that fast in the first half because you're confused and you don't know what's going on, then that says a lot about the program. For real. I wonder if Mitch Barnhart would fire Mark too if he loses to Eastern Michigan. Hey, Carl, how you doing, man? Well, I mean, if you trust me, see that's the thing, man. With Stoops getting fired, I don't think he cares. I mean, if you're gonna get fired and somebody's got to pay you 36, 38 million dollars to get fired, would you care? I mean, seriously, would you really care? I mean, I don't make anything like that. And if they fired me, I wouldn't have any issues with being on the plane tomorrow going home. So imagine you making $38 million, 36 million, whatever it is. Let's just say 30 plus, because I don't know the true amount, but let's just say 30 plus $1 million to get fired. How many people do you know that would get fired with a smile? So going back to what James says, maybe Stoops just not there anymore. Maybe he's just mentally checked out because hey, if I get fired, I get $30 million. I'm good, bro. I'm going to I'm going on vacation. It doesn't matter. But the people who really care about Kentucky football, we're still here. When the coaches leave, when the players leave, Kentucky fans are still there to root for their to still root for their Wildcats. And that's where I'm at right now. I just despite how it may look. But once again, we're 1-0. I mean, we're 1-1. We're 500. Still need to be the SEC team to make me smile. But we 1-1, and we got to see what happened. I remember when we had to watch the football games at 11:30 on delay. At least we're not back in those days. That's true, So I guess we got to find the small wins in what it is in this step on what we're doing. Um, think about Cutter. It doesn't feel impossible on 3rd and long. He would let it rip. Yeah, he'll let it rip. Um, that's for sure. He has no issues with that. He get it downfield. He looks confident. No, Big Mike, show me the money. I know, right? Show me the money. I mean, like I said, I mean, if if Calzada is not in the game, then we always guys. It's no big secret. You know what we say? Next man up. Ever who's on the field, that's who you cheer for. Um, and I'm gonna cheer for Cutter just as much as I did for Calzada. I just am, and I want Kentucky overall to have success. That's what I hope for, and I hope that we can go out here against Eastern Michigan and win by 2 or 3 touchdowns. 3 touchdowns. I'm just gonna call it. This is what I want to see. I want to see at least a 3 touchdown win, score win. I just do. If we really want to see that, I definitely want to see that too as well. Um, hey Otis, how you doing, man? Hey, um, but he just needs to go. Yeah, for real. Hey, Otis, good to see you. Hey, I spoke about um, Charlie Hurt. Hey, I actually got someone to actually join me to the show. Can you guys welcome D to the show? Let me see if I can get him on here. Hope everything works right when I get him on. He's gonna come and talk a little football. Let me see if I can get him on. Hopefully, uh, hopefully this works. See if we can get him on. But D, how you doing, man?
What's good, man?
Hey, man, I'm doing good, man. Hey, thank you so much for jumping on the show with me tonight. I appreciate it more than you know. I know you had a busy day today. Kentucky football. One last thing before you actually start, okay? Hey, Otis, I put this up earlier for Charlie, and once again, for real, rest in peace, Charlie Kirk, as well. That was another senseless killing, just because somebody feels or thinks a way that somebody else don't. But uh, but definitely in his family's in our prayers and stuff like that. Hey man, I had to follow up with this, with this tragic and talking football and all of this. But what's going on, man? It's good to see you again. It is. It's good to talk to you.
Man, am I good? You guys can hear me?
Yeah. I can hear you.
Are you good? Okay.
Yeah.
So things are going great, man. I'm just having an absolute ball watching what I'm starting to consider some of the whiniest fans. I'm
Okay.
watching everybody panic, man. I'm like, oh my goodness, boy. So this I put it like this, coming from my former fan base, this feels right at home. I tell you that much.
So have you seen the news that um, they haven't announced yet that they haven't officially announced that Cutter was going to start this week, but it looks like he's taking all the first team reps and doesn't look like Calzada has practiced um, all week, or it's only a short week or whatever. But
Yeah,
how are you feeling
I've seen it.
about um, Cutter going out there leading the offense this week?
So I feel two sides about it. One,
Okay.
if it has to happen the way it happened, it's cool that Cutter is going out against a quote unquote lesser opponent, quote unquote.
Yes, that's good.
So he'll have a chance to get his feet up under him. That being said, if it doesn't go right and everyone has been screaming for Cutter to now be the guy, now what? So
That's the
so and the other part is, you know what I mean? So So now what? So you don't have another button to press, so to speak, if we jump that fast to the next guy, which I believe Cutter's an amazing quarterback. But again, I think I go back to listening to you guys earlier in the week, and I don't really think it's all about the quarterback. I really think some of it is just we've got to do a better job of maybe scheming guys open. And some of our receivers are not just fighting to do the little things right. The play broke down. Are you fighting back towards the line of scrimmage in the scramble mode? Are you getting, instead of 1 foot of separation, are you getting 3 feet of separation? We want our quarterbacks to be perfect, but if he ain't perfect and he throws an interception, that's kind of my take on it. Yes, sir.
Okay. I mean, we're 1-1. I think if a couple of plays, as I said this earlier, I think if a couple of plays went this way or that way, I think we really could have beat Ole Miss this past weekend. I think it was there for the taking.
Absolutely.
I think we jumped out on them, and I don't think they know what hit them. Brian he had those 2 big interceptions as well, like that. But we left points on the board. We only got 10 points out of those 2 interceptions. Kentucky's not a team that
yeah. I think 4 plays that most people aren't talking about this week would have made that game completely different. And maybe hindsight is 2020, but I'm not even talking about the end of the game with the you should have taken the points, because I was saying the same thing. I was like, take the points, take the points, take the points. Yeah. But that being said, I'm going back to the pass interference on the number 1 tight end, the I forget his name. Is it what's the top tight end? I forget his name, but
Rodriguez.
Him the the other tight end, the other starter, the senior.
Oh man, his name, because you hear Rodriguez mostly. I can't think of his. I think he's what, number 80, 87, something like that. Yeah.
I want to say it's 84, but there was one on him that would have gave us a first down to keep the play momentum going. Then I'm talking about only the obvious pass interferences, the one that was like, okay, refs, come on now, what are y'all doing? And then the one against Rodriguez, but he was literally in the end zone and the guy mugged him. Now, I don't blame the guy for mugging him, because if I'm gonna give up a touchdown, I'd rather mug too and hope the official don't call it. So just those 2 plays alone, we're talking about a totally different game. And then again, you're talking about open field tackling. They picked on one of our DBs because I'm not sure, he was in soft coverage. He was in like 10 yards off coverage. And then once they saw he wasn't aggressively attacking the little swing pass, they kept going back to it. When you see something that works, you keep going back to it. I think he gave up like two or three plays for first down conversions, and then one that got them down very, very close to the end. So I think we were right here, to be quite honest with you. I think we were right here, quite honest, regardless of the fourth quarter would take the points or not. I really think we were right there from actually leaving there with that win, because it would have changed the dynamics of that game.
Oh, absolutely. And, I think as fans, even when we watched the game and we saw how soft the corners was playing, and this is something that I mentioned on the show is too, on the postgame show, is why didn't Brad White make the necessary adjustments if he had a corner over there that was playing extremely soft, and they exploited it, and it hurt us, and it did. And as a seasoned defensive coordinator as Brad White is, or as defensive minded as Stoops is, nobody could actually make that executive decision. Says we get up on these guys, like this is what they keep running.
Well,
but maybe they was afraid that maybe if they do that, then we get burned.
What? Somewhere there's a midpoint. So if you were giving him a 10-yard cushion, drop it down to a 7-yard cushion, just something.
Something.
So, like I said, just those things I think could have made the game completely different. That being said, I'm down here in South Carolina, and I'm getting to watch the reaction to Ole Miss, their sports talk radio. their sports talk radio was like, oh my goodness, Kentucky just exposed us. So I
Yeah.
don't think Kentucky fans are realizing that a lot of people are going, wait a minute, this Kentucky team, they ain't the pushovers we thought they were. So I
Yeah.
really, the Ole Miss fans after the game and their talk radio, I was kind of listening in all the different channels. They were like, wait a minute, Kentucky just exposed us. That team, that ain't, we just got away with one. And that's
Yeah.
how they were feeling about it. So also, everyone's talking about the beginning of the year, Florida was going to be this amazing juggernaut team. Well, 2 games in,
Yep.
two games in, they're talking about fire the head coach, and you know what I'm
Yep.
saying. So,
I mean,
so
I
it's
mean,
it's
you're
one of
right.
those things. Is weird when you watch the big picture. So, South Carolina fans, they were really upset that we didn't. South Carolina, the team, didn't do a better job of playing SC State. Well, you
Yeah.
should have dominated them. It doesn't feel like the offense is doing what it's supposed to do. We need a new offensive coordinator. If we're going to do this, then we got a defense, but our offense ain't exactly doing blank, blank, blank. So again, I think big scheme of things, we're in a pretty good place. And I heard one of the guys this week on the show here, they kept referring back to guys, it's week 2. Guys, it's week 2. It was BC. He said, guys,
BC.
it's week
Yeah.
2.
Yeah.
It's week 2. We're 1-1. We fought a good game. And the truth is, we're seeing some things improved. And the other part is how many people are new on the team. So stuff has to iron itself out. And like I said, I think we just gotta wait and see and give these guys a chance. I'm just not a fan of all the fans completely bailing because specifically for this reason. If I'm the next QB that could come here, 4-star, 5-star. I'm the next coach or OC that could come here. I'm watching how y'all are doing y'all's guys right now. And I think the fan base might be running off some potential players and recruits because they're seeing Kentucky fans don't exactly back the old team. they, they tend to throw in the towel pretty quickly. So we got to be careful with the environment we're creating when we're wanting the next guy to come save us. Well, the next guy, whoever he might be, is watching how we're treating our current guys right now.
Yeah. I mean, those are very critical statements, but I have to agree with you because the recruits are watching them. All of this stuff goes on social media. These guys can turn on TVs and watch. Now with so many ways to watch ball games, you can watch any ball game in the nation, no matter where you at in the nation. It's just with streaming and YouTube and stuff like that, you can watch it.
Yeah.
You can watch it real easy. I think a lot of I want to go back to your comment as far as about Cutter. If Cutter comes out and those 2 interceptions or whatever, then what's next for the fan base? Is the fan base going to give him a grace period? And if for me, the beginning of the year, I was asking, what's the grace period that we are going to give Zach Calzada to get
Mm-hmm.
things together here at Kentucky? A new quarterback, a
Yeah.
new a lot of new guys on the team, a
And
lot of new
first time playing
pieces.
with those guys in
Yeah,
real action. Yeah.
real time environment. So people are
So
saying 2 to 3 games, maybe 4 games, and looks like he might not even make it to 3 games. So especially
well,
look,
yeah, and that's because of the injury, but because put it
yeah,
this way, if we do what we're supposed to do this coming Saturday, that means we come out of the first 3 games 2-1 going into a bye. That ain't the worst place to be at,
okay, yeah,
at the beginning of the
it's
season.
not, yeah. But let me ask you a
So
question though:
let's say, so how many touchdowns do we have to win? Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
Is this South Carolina? Well, because I don't want to look past Eastern Michigan because you want to respect every single opponent.
Mm-hmm.
Ask Florida, they'll tell you. But let's say we do
Yeah.
beat Eastern Michigan like we should. Granted, no
Mm-hmm.
no disrespect. Is this South
Yeah.
Carolina a absolute must win for Coach Stoops?
with all the echo and the noise surrounding him,
Yeah.
possibly so. But I will say, as long as the team comes out, and let's just say we lose a close game, as long as people aren't able to say we lost a close game because of apparent coaching mistakes. If
Okay.
they just if they're the better team that day, but we play a hard fought game, well, folks, that happens. I mean, to me, that happens. Kentucky, I think, is in. I'll ask you this question: if steps 1 through 10 of a rebuild, would you agree that we're in a rebuild stage right now?
With as many people as we had coming through the transfer portal, absolutely.
Right now, are we in a rebuild with everything that happened in the past year and some change?
You got NIL, you got transfer portal, you got people coming and going. There's not a lot of
Mm-hmm.
continuity there. So everything,
Mm-hmm.
and
Mm-hmm.
but here's the thing though, D, isn't a lot of other schools in the same situation. Now I think there's only one
No.
other team in college football who actually, I think it was Purdue. It was somebody. It was I think it was only one team in the nation that had more transfers come in than Kentucky. But I mean, a
Mm-hmm.
lot of teams are having a high turnover, regardless if they getting 50 guys or
Mm-hmm.
20 guys. It's still a lot of turnover. So,
Mm-hmm.
it our thing is we have a different quarterback every single year. So hopefully,
So
even
just to
yeah,
but to simplify it, do you believe we're in a rebuild right now?
I think we are a little bit.
Okay. So if we're in a rebuild right now, how long does it take to rebuild? And that's the question that I constantly ask people when we're having the conversation. If let's just say it's not college, it's NFL, it's NBA, it's professional. Once a team is saying we're rebuilding, what do you expect in the first real year of a rebuild? It feels like the fans of UK are still saying, by God, we still expect to compete for an SEC championship. And I'm like, wait a minute, y'all. That's a heck of a gap for us to be
Well,
trying to
I don't.
fill right now.
I just want to go to a bowl game, and maybe I
I
shouldn't say
I
that
want to
as
see
a
us. I want
fan,
to
but
yeah. I want to see us
go
compete
ahead.
hard. I want to see us streak by and get into a bowl game. But what I really want to see is I want to see the players that we've been recruiting, because we wound up doing some pretty good recruiting in this past 12-month window. I want to see them buy in to what Kentucky can be if they all stick around. And I think, again, our fan base is skipping over that fact. Well, if those two guys would have stayed, we would have had some great receivers. You're right.
Yeah.
But there's a reason they left. And a part of it is the fan base and how they're being treated. That's my personal opinion.
And I was surprised, with Dane Key leaving, especially with his dad being a Kentucky alumni. I was kind of, Barry Brown. I kind of saw that on the cuff, but I
Mm-hmm.
was kind of shocked, and then to see Key go to Nebraska. I guess he got like one of his old
Mm-hmm.
coaches was out there, so maybe he followed him out there as well too. I'm
Mm-hmm.
not sure, but uh,
Relationships
yeah, yeah,
matter.
yeah.
So
Well,
yeah, relationships matter.
but see, here's the thing with the transfer portal though, D is we won't look the same next year as we look this year because of the trend. If nothing else, you take away the few handful of recruits that we get, the transfer portal might hit us again. Well, I'm out of here, dude. Yep, I'm moving on. I can go get more money
So
for whatever reason. So it's like I'm like, how do you get? And you said it. If the guys stick around and they come back, so unless barring something crazy, I look for Cutter to be back next year. Even though we got a good
mm-hmm.
quarterback in Matt coming in next year, I look for Cutter to be around. But we got a lot of older receivers
Mm-hmm.
that's going to be out the door. I want to ask you about Law. Um, why come we don't get him more involved?
Um, I'm a huge fan of running mesh, and for people that don't, is the crossing route where you give guys a lead and they cut off these 3, 5, and 7 yard routes, cutting across the formations and getting the ball in the playmakers' hands. It feels
Yeah.
like we're pressuring our offense from the fan base standpoint to throw it downfield. We need more big plays. But if you
No.
really look at it, Ole Miss didn't just beat us with down the field plays.
Nope.
They beat us by getting the ball in their hands early and shallow and letting them make plays.
Yep.
So I think that's what I would say. I would say the fan base is cheering and jeering that our average attempts downfield aren't far enough.
Yeah.
Maybe that's just not the people that we have on the team right now to constantly be going down the field. Maybe we need to. Peyton Manning. If you watched the Peyton Manning game back in the day when he was with the Colts, Peyton Manning 3, 5, and 11 yards you to death.
Yep.
And then every once in a while he would throw one down the field. And if that's the personnel we got, man, embrace who we have and let's play that game.
Yep. For real. And I'm a big believer in it, is that, everyone loves the long ball. Everyone loves that big, oh man, we threw the ball, he ran 75 yards for the touchdown. But unrealistically, those ain't the plays that win ball games all the time. It's can you get those little passes across the middle, and let the guys get 5 or 6, 7 extra yards after the catch. That moves the chain. Us being third and not us being consistently in third and long.
Put it this way. Put it this way. If the quarterback can complete a 3-yard pass and the receiver can get 3 extra yards, well, every time you do that twice, that's a first down.
First down.
So that to me is maybe just a mindset shift until we get the guy that's gonna whatever. Confidence has to be boosted, route running gets a little smoother, whatever it's gonna be. Until then, let's move the chains. Like that's what it boils down to. Me personally, I hate seeing that it's 3rd and 5 and we throw go for a 35-yard pass. Go for the 6-yard pass.
Wow, yeah. It makes no sense.
Move the same. So yeah.
Yeah.
I'll give an example. Was a few years ago, the last time the Chiefs won the Super Bowl. There was one particular drive where I think it was 12 plays, and he threw the ball to Travis Kelce 7 times. That ain't the sexiest thing in the world, but it kept the ball moving down the field. And if it works, I'm going to keep doing it. So find what works for us and just keep doing it. And then every once in a while, when they start creeping up, then you hit them over the top. But do what we do well. We apparently do really well at rushing the ball. We do pretty well at targeting our tight ends. And then let our other guys run the mesh crossing routes. And every once in a while, make it a double move and catch them cheating and throw it down the field. But if we just keep the ball out of the other team's hand, chances are we win that game.
So I have to ask you a hard question, and I understand if you can't answer it because of your connection with the team. But is Bush Hamdan the right man for the job? Because this right here all falls on this falls on him. Because if he can't see and if he can't, as the offensive coordinator, if he can't see that this is what we need to be doing, and I agree with you, I can't tell you how angry I was at the Ole Miss game. Is that we needed a 3rd and 5, and we went for 35 yards on a pass, and the ball went over his head. I asked myself, bro, why in the world are you up at 1:00 in the morning watching this ball game? Because of, and you keep looking at stuff like this. I was so freaking tired at work that day, bro. And I'm like, but why? Why would you do that for me? Just go to sleep and just whatever happens, happens. What does Bush Hamdan need to do better? I mean, I'm for real, bro.
So my answer to that, I believe in my heart of hearts, is yes. I believe he is the right guy for the job. I just believe he's got a new set of tools that he's been working with for a relatively short period of time. And even if he believed they were the right tools, now he's seen them being used. If somebody works in a factory and they've told you that these set of tools is what you need to fix that problem, and you go out there with the tools they gave you that you've been working with in the classroom, but now you're in the real world, this ain't quite it. I'm gonna have to retool it. I'm gonna have to retweak it. This tool's gonna have to be used a different way. I think he's just looking at his pieces, trying to get a better idea of how to use them. That's my humble opinion. So I believe
Okay,
he is the right guy.
I'm gonna have to rebuttal that because
Go
I'm
ahead.
sorry. You're right. I agree with you, but I gotta rebuttal that because
Mm-hmm.
if you're an offensive coordinator that's been in college football for a while, that's been
Mm-hmm.
successful as
Yeah.
offensive coordinator, and I gotta go back to the 3rd and 5. It
Mm-hmm.
don't take a genius. Why are you throwing the ball 35 yards down the field when all you gotta do is just throw the ball 2 yards and see if the guy can get 3 yards? It
Got you.
makes no sense. And I don't really care in a sense. I don't really care who you got out there.
Mm-hmm.
If you already seen that the long ball is not working, and what didn't work against Toledo too well, it didn't. I don't think Zach has a touchdown, a passing touchdown all year long.
He doesn't.
If
Not
it
yet.
ain't working, if it ain't working against Toledo, and if it's not working against Ole Miss for the long ball, bro, come on. I have no knowledge of
My
football, and I know that I'm not
so
going to try to hit the long ball.
my only rebuttal to that is, um, I didn't coach at like the college level. I coached at
Yeah.
I was involved at coaching at a pretty high level in high school when I lived in Raleigh. And the one
Okay.
thing that I do know is this: sometimes I'm not making excuses because I was saying the same thing you were saying.
Yeah.
Sometimes when you get information and there's a key that you were looking for, and it's there by God, whenever we see it, no matter what down it is, we're going to go for it. Maybe
Yeah.
they saw it. Maybe they saw it. And maybe he's putting too much trust in that performance too early into the situation. Maybe he has to build more trust. But I mean, that's kind of how I will say this. Take that play away and go back to some other plays where we had a couple of receivers that the ball hit them in the hands and they didn't catch it.
They didn't catch it.
So it's the, you know what I mean?
Yeah, you do.
So when I tried to throw
I,
it to you right there, and he like, so yeah.
yeah, and I think that's. I think if you're going to criticize the quarterback, you got to criticize the other players too as well. The quarterback is
Yes.
just a high-profile player for the team, and people say, "Well, so goes the quarterback, so goes the team." That little saying,
Mm-hmm.
but it also falls on the receivers. You can say, "Well," and I was telling BC on the show, we can't. I mean, it would be good for our receivers to get the separation, the 1 yard
Mm-hmm.
or the 1 foot or
The
whatever.
3 yard separation, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It will be good, but also it's got to be it's got to be a point where that quarterback says, "I trust my receivers enough that I'm going to put it in their hands, even in
Mm-hmm.
even in tight situations, and then they got to catch the football." So I think
So
collectively,
so so you're right, and we'll say it again. It's 2 games, enough time to build. So I've made these throws, and does he trust that they'll make the play when he's throwing it in a tight window or hit them in the hands? And then, so I think there's a little bit of both. So I think it's a lot of feeling out going on right now.
okay,
That's my humble
I,
opinion.
I got you.
And I think, and then like I said, as I look around, not to change the subject, but as I look around the landscape, you got
Yeah,
some teams that UK fans, Kentucky fans are envious of in general, but they're in complete turmoil right now. So,
okay,
so let's say we're going into this season expecting to struggle, and we're struggling a little bit. Well, that means we're where we thought we'd be, right?
okay, yeah,
What about those teams who are expecting to be absolute juggernauts right now?
yep, yep,
So if you got high expectations and low output, okay. We had relatively low expectations. The team is 1-1 and played a ranked team close. Well, that's about par for course of where we thought we'd be right now.
for real, right?
So
Oh,
yeah, like leave it on the field. I mean, let them play. You be upset as a fan. I'll be upset as a fan. But even as a player, be upset as you want as a player. When the game is over with, it's over with. It's like leave it where it is. We're gonna learn from that. Come back. Now, they're making memes of, you seen the meme of the interview meme of Bush Hampton when they're like, he's like, we'll take a look at that. We're gonna take a look at that. We're gonna take a look at that. Have you seen that?
Yeah, I seen it. Yeah.
Now I understand why he gave that answer, but
Yeah.
the fact that they got him giving it like 8 times in a row was like,
gotta take a look at that. That was funny, man.
It's funny, but that man's coaching for his livelihood and coaching for his next great situation. So I honestly believe, that he has it. He's just looking for the right guy to be the guy for him. And I think maybe this next game, this Saturday, if we get a chance live action against another collegiate team that we're supposed to be highly favored in, because again, we went into the first game of the season with half the fans saying Toledo was going to beat us. Well, they didn't beat us. Yeah, but we didn't beat them good enough. I'm like, look, you can't have it both ways, man. Come on now. Take the dub and let's get up out of there. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So that's kind of how I'm seeing it.
Yeah.
Now I'm praying for a blowout. I'm praying for a blowout on Saturday because
I am too,
maybe I get to see my boy play.
Yeah, well, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Hey, who's your son on the team, D?
18, Mikael Skinner.
I like that jersey, man, as well. So
man, he plays right behind Willie Rodriguez.
Okay, I know. So, so I got a question for you before we get out of here. Who's actually? You know what? I want to see if we can answer this question. This question is for you. I'm not sure if you can see it or not. When is it enough time then, D? What game are we supposed to be ready for?
Well, for everybody asking that question, I'll put it back in y'all's lap. Have you ever been in a difficult situation and everybody was pressuring you to be ready? What would your answer be?
You mean like Arch?
Let's say a new job. Well, hey, Arch Manning, good grief, yes. Oh my God. Yeah. Imagine if we'd had that 5-star recruit, Arch Manning, and he went out there and stunk it up. Oh my God. Like, so when people say when is enough, this is the one thing I do not doubt. Those players are absolutely busting their blanks, trying to get ready and trying to get it going and trying to win for themselves and for the fans. I don't doubt that one iota. Yeah. So when is enough time? I honestly believe enough time will be when we see it and when it clicks. And you don't have another answer. If as a fan, you're saying, I believe by this game, God Almighty, we should be blank, then you're setting yourself up for a terrible, there's no way to answer the question. You just, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. But that's a good question, though, James. Yeah, great question.
Yeah. I just tell people I think people put expectations on their sports team because we love our team so much that they don't put in any other walk of their lives.
Yeah. Yeah. I think I did play both football. Hey, James says, well, back in the day, you wouldn't be playing if you wasn't ready. I am old school and did play both football and basketball. So, we definitely live in a different time, though.
No, I'll put it like this. So James can respond back if he like. Who does he think specifically isn't ready right now? Which player is he referring to?
I hope he doesn't come back and says nobody.
Well, I hope not either. But
I hope he doesn't come back and say that. But look, let me ask one more question before we get out of here. Do we have a wide receiver number one? A WR1?
I don't think we have one yet. I think we've got guys that we believe based on the information coming from fans that should be number one. But that's not something you give somebody. That's something somebody has to go out there and take.
Well, is it safe to say that most college teams or any teams in a sense, don't they start the year off with a clear cut number one? Most teams?
Most teams you would hope so, yeah.
Yeah.
You would hope so. But in the SEC, we're recruiting against every other great school. And the truth is, other schools are giving a lot more money to the top
Yeah.
guys. And so if we don't have the top guys, then we have to be willing to say we're going to develop the right guys in our system, which goes back to me saying, as fans, we got to be real mindful about running guys off. And then
Yeah.
you're going to say, well, if they don't want it, then they can just leave.
Yeah.
Well, when they leave, you're still mad.
Yeah. So Joshua said, talk about who's ready and who's not.
Yeah.
Joshua said, put this on the screen. He said, Bush Hampton isn't ready.
Hey, look, Bush ain't cutting me no check. So, so I ain't his PR person. But what I have seen is I've seen his offense in full effect when he's had the tools that he felt he could win with. I have seen that. So maybe he just doesn't have everything he thought he needed. Now, it's up to him. He makes enough to take this job and accept the job and make the necessary adjustments. Let's see if he makes the adjustments. Because between this week and 2 weeks, we're going to find out, because you're going to be in Columbia, South Carolina, playing against the top defense.
But I got a question for you, though.
Yeah.
Against Eastern Michigan, do we open up the playbook against them? I mean, do we show everything we got against them? And if we don't, then
I'll put it like this. I don't even believe in the whole holding back on the playbook thing, because I can show you something this week trying to trap you into thinking I'm going to do it next week and da-da-da-da-da. Line up across from the man across from you and beat that man and do your job. That's what it boils down to. You can know exactly what I'm about to do. If I still do it, what's your point?
Yeah, that's it. Carl says he thinks that Law is our best receiver on the team.
I think so too. I think so too.
He's now, you got Macklin on the team. For me, it looks like Law is the receiver. Macklin's good too, as well too. And actually, to be honest with you, coming into this year with Key leaving and with Brown leaving, everyone, well, Macklin's going to be
Macklin's turn, right?
It was Macklin's turn, but it looks like it's like, why is Macklin on the sideline for? You know, why shouldn't he be in the ball game? But it seems like right now, Law is not catching a lot of balls down the field, but he's doing exactly what you mentioned earlier. Throw him the ball close to the line, and then Law is making things happen. You know, he's getting that extra 5 or 6 yards that you need, because you can't hit because the down the field is not available.
If you go back to the greatest show on turf, remember the St. Louis Rams with Kurt Warner and those guys?
Yeah.
Kurt Warner said, people remember me throwing the ball downfield. But he said 70% of the game, I was throwing the ball within 3 yards of the line of scrimmage and letting Marshall Faulk and those other guys, you know what I'm saying? So I just think sometimes Bobby Bowden, the late great Bobby Bowden, he said, man, I got athletes, and guess what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna give them the damn ball and I'm gonna let them do something with it. We just lost to Ole Miss by them throwing 1 yard passes and letting the guy do something with it. So it's almost like playing basketball. Everybody that played basketball watching, y'all remember the coach would tell you, once you get your first layup and your free throw, then the basket just seems big.
He opens up.
And maybe we just got to do a better job of getting the receivers closer touches, doing maybe mesh or whatever else. Everybody's respecting the running backs. Well, what if they start doing the little running back, curl routes and things into the flats, and the guys going downfield clearing that out? Maybe we just got to start there and then build it up rather than trying to take deep shots early, because we don't have the team chemistry or confidence yet. I'm just giving these guys the benefit of the doubt, because they all seem like great kids, great young men. And also, they all legit seem like great athletes that are just not quite clicking. They're just not quite clicking. So
I hope we can take this, and I hope we can take this good. I hope we can beat Eastern Michigan by a lot. I really do. I'm just going to be real with you. I want to see a blowout. I don't even want to see a close game.
Would you mind if I ask a question of the folks watching?
Yeah.
In order to feel like we performed at the expected level, how many points do we need to beat Eastern Michigan by this Saturday.
Do you know the famous saying for the Cats?
Nah, go ahead.
Cats by 90, baby. That's the
Okay. Outside of that saying, I wonder what like you can give an answer, but I wonder what the fans listening and watching right now. In order for us to walk away saying, man, we did our job. We did what we were supposed to do. I wonder what perception is. Because remember, we talked about expectations.
28
So if
points.
we win by 21, is that enough?
28.
28?
Somebody. 50.
Oh, God.
Well,
Okay.
I mean, but see, here's the thing though. Teams are beating teams by 50 points these
Yeah.
days. So
do this for a second. We're playing
Yeah,
Eastern Michigan, right?
Yeah.
Let me look up Eastern Michigan, what they've done so far this year.
30. 30 is reasonable.
Yeah, I'm legit curious as to what people are the expectation that for Saturday. I wonder what it is.
I hate when I do that, bro.
All right, so far, Eastern Michigan has lost to Texas State, another small school, 52-27.
See?
All right, 52-27. And so far, they have lost to LIU. I'm not sure who LIU is. 28-20. So far, they aren't, barn burners or barn stormers. So with that being said, let's come up with a loyal Big Blue fan club answer for what the expectation is for Saturday to say we did our job. 52-0.
Yeah. I mean, well, here's one for you that I think you can agree with.
Yeah. Hey, if they win by 1 point, we're gonna walk outside and the facility gonna be on fire.
Yeah. Hey, Donald, welcome in Harlan County. Thanks for joining in, man. I appreciate you. I'll be happy if we could just get a good
2 touchdowns, 14 points a quarter. How about that?
Yeah. I mean, dude.
Right.
I mean, why
that
not?
That is 56 points.
Yeah.
2 points, 2 touchdowns a quarter is 56 points. So we want to try to score 56 points, and we want to try to give up. Let's go. Come on.
We need something to cheer about going in because we don't. Just so you know, not sure if you know, but we don't have a good track record under Stoops coming off a bye week. We usually are unprepared, lazy, just out of it, not ready for the ball game, not disciplined, and this is year after year after year. So,
again, being a transplant, what I am going to tell you is, we've had for to be the year that it is, we've had the perfect schedule so far. 3 home games in a row and a bye week.
Yeah.
And then being a transplant, they get to come down and see, and I'm going to say this unashamedly, they get to come down and they're going to get a chance to see one of the best home field presentations and fan experiences that there is in football. And I'm saying that Sandstorm, I can take it or leave it. I honestly don't like that song. Really don't. But that being said, I've been there when we first got Lou Holtz, when South Carolina first got Lou Holtz. Can you imagine the fanfare that when Lou Holtz got, just in your mind, can you imagine Lou Holtz came to coach at your school? You know what we did? We stunk. We stunk.
Yep.
We got beat by Troy. We stuck. Right?
Yeah.
Then Lou Holtz opened the gate. Spurrier came.
Yeah.
Spurrier started recruiting in-state, blah, blah, blah. And all of a sudden we were winning, beating our rival, even got a 10-game win, a 10-game season one time. Man, we were riding on high. Spurrier left, and we were going to hand this off to the next coach, and he was going to take off to the moon. You know who we got? Muschamp. Look at my face now. Muschamp. When I tell you the most terrible time in the history of South Carolina football was Will Muschamp coming in bragging about all the things he was going to do and proceeded to stink it up, right? And then we go to the current coach that everybody's in love with right now. 2 years ago, they were ready to fire him because they didn't make a bowl game in South Carolina. Yep. It took 1 year of keeping the right players, the key players, not everyone, but keeping the right key players bought in and a couple of breaks to go our way. And the season totally different. So that's how I'm looking at it. I'm looking at it like, guys, I've seen this story play out. All I'm saying is don't bail on the team. Just give them your support. And if they don't win, be mad about it. But good grief, like, don't jump off the local bridges and all that other stuff. Like, just you got to remember, the players that we want to stay are watching how you're treating the current players. The players that we want to stay are watching how you treat the guy who's the winningest coach in UK history. So I'm just putting it out there for the fans that hear that. I like these players pay attention to this. If the players don't feel loyalty towards them, how do we expect them to show loyalty back toward the fan base? So I'll just put that out there for fodder.
Yeah, that's true. So, well, anyway, D, I appreciate you jumping on. It's almost 3:30. I got to get ready to go to work.
Yeah, man.
So, now here I am. I'm up all night again.
Yeah.
Okay. I am. But anyway, thank you for jumping on, man. I appreciate it, man. I look forward to Kentucky football, and definitely if Kentucky gets that big lead, I definitely be looking out for your son to see if he can get some playing time out there. That would be good as well too.
Yeah,
let's see what these younger guys got. Get them some reps, which is always really a good thing for those young guys. Those guys, they show up and practice hard too, so it'd be good to get them in the ball game. Thank you guys once again for I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I was just saying, not only that. Getting them live game reps prepares them for those moments when they actually have to go in the game. So
absolutely.
Just getting some reps now matters later. It ain't their first time going out there with, oh my goodness, I'm having to play now. So it matters. Yeah.
Yep. That is so true. So hey, thank you guys for tuning in. I really appreciate it. Otis, Chris, James, Peanut, all you guys who came out, Chris, all you guys who came out. D, always appreciate talking to you, hanging out with you as well. Hit that like button if you haven't already. I really appreciate it.
One last shout out. Big shout out to American Legion number 8. American Legion number 8 is not even 10 minutes from the stadium. Before the game and after the games, y'all stop by and support them. They're doing an amazing job supporting the fan club, the parents of the players, and they do great work in the community. And by the way, I'll just say you get a great deal when you go to the American Legion number 8. Y'all stop in and show them some support as we fight through this season. And I'm sure after a game or two, you might need a drink. So come through and hang out at the American Legion number 8.
Need a little yak to go along with it. So, hey, thank you guys. D, I appreciate you joining. Okay, man. All right, guys. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate it. Until next time, this is the Lloyd BBN Fan Show. I'm Big Mike. I'm here with D Skinner, and we're out.
Yes, sir. Thank you.